Well, hey, everybody, we are back. Getting ready to record questions. Questions. Ricky's going to be coming on here in a second. We'll get cracking. So the last show didn't record right, so I'm going to have to go grab it off of Facebook. What happened with that? I recorded at double speed. I was wondering why they said that the show was only 32 minutes long. I was like, what? The thing was way longer than 32 minutes. So I'll pull the audio from Facebook and we should be good. Oh, no. Hello.
Hey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, I keep thinking I'm in labor.
They'll do that during the show.
And I'm not. Well, I can't help it. But it's been a week. I've been to the hospital. Been to the doctor's office.
I heard.
Had a car accident. You know.
It's not good.
No. But she'll be here this week, more than likely.
That's awesome. That'll be exciting.
I just don't know if it'll be a natural thing or if it'll be a thing where I have to have it forced.
Yeah, it's fine either way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been a week.
Yeah, my last show recorded in double speed, so now I got to pull the audio off of Facebook.
How did I record in double speed?
I don't even know how I did it. I don't know. Make sure this is recording as normal.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. So yeah. Sorry I'm eating, but I was really hungry.
Yeah, as soon as you finish, we can start.
I had just a little bit of food left. How was Princess?
It's good. It's fun. I'm more excited about going to Disneyland, but
that's in another year, right?
No, I'm going next month for a media thing.
Well, bite me. That's how much I love you. That's fun.
Yep. I'm going March 29th.
100th or?
Yep.
That'll be good.
Disney Hundo is what I'm calling it.
Hey, you know, I like it.
I know. I'm busy, man. I've been down there. It's just like I've got all kinds of freaking flyer miles because I was just down there for the AEP and then I was down there for Marathon and then as Princess and then Disneyland and then 10 days later I go to Spring Surprise.
Holy cow. All right, yeah, you're gonna be there a little bit. All right, well,
it's only a 2-day event, so I'm staying an extra day so I can go to because you get a 3-day ticket, so you get Genie Plus and Genie in Park Hopper, so I want to use that 3rd day. I'm buying my last day of hotel. Airline, my flight was only $155. One way.
Southwest
coming home. Yep.
That's not bad.
I got a direct flight home too. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really good.
Yep.
All right, more bite.
So pissed about that audio because now I got to record it from Facebook. Well, it's taking an hour.
Not ideal, but at least you have a backup.
Yep.
That's good. All right.
Get some questions. Questions.
Okay. Hi, Days.
Let me see. Okay. Oop, let's see. Did I hit that thing? Hello, Don. Hello, Allison's back. Oh, Don's going to go to Disneyland. 121 days.
Nice.
Almost. Baby time soon. We got Allison and Ashley.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm fine, babe. Ooh.
I don't know, Don, because I'm not using Audacity. I'm using Audition, but the audio's fine on Facebook. I'll just grab it off there. Yes, we are trying to make Allison's day go by quicker as she works from home.
Well, that's good.
That's our goal.
Yes. Oh.
And I now have spring training baseball on in the office, so that is awesome.
All right, what are your thoughts on the whole changes?
I hate all the changes. They don't need to change it for people that like the game.
Right.
They don't need to make it a video game.
No, I figured you wouldn't like it.
And I miss Dan McLaughlin already.
Yeah. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it is. So. All right, hang on. Make sure that's normal. Just making sure we're not double time. I don't know what happened. Yeah. That was weird.
That'd be good.
Freaked me out. All right, let's do this. We're at 2246. Welcome to episode 2246 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope your week is going swimmingly, that you're having a great week. And even if you're not a swimmer, just dog paddle. Let's make it through and get to yet another weekend, because that's kind of the goal of all this, right? And what's weird is in this year of 2023, some of us have weekends on Wednesdays. Today could be your Saturday. Man, you might be winning life. That'd be great. I mean, I work 7 days a week. So, some days are slower than others. Some days are busier than others. So whatever your work schedule is, we just appreciate you taking us along with you wherever you go. It's awesome. If you're out on a run, if you're taking the kids to school, doing some laundry, thanks for making the Be Our Guest podcast a part of your day. We sure appreciate that. So today we are going to be, of course, answering your listener questions. Pam and Scott still at Walt Disney World.
Yes.
Not that I'm jealous.
I mean, a little bit.
Scott's still at Riverside. Pam has made the switch to Saratoga Springs.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much winning life.
Yep.
But next week we'll have more back.
I'm going to guarantee you're not going to have the whole crew next week.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking that. I'm saying we got a fluid situation here. That's why there's 4 of us at this point, because people are going to be coming. I will be here. I mean, God willing, because I got the stuff to record, but we'll see what happens. But we'll have a show. And on Friday, you're going to see, because I've already recorded it, it's just me flying solo, because I talk all about Princess Half Marathon Weekend.
Yay.
I talk about, but it's not just for the runners. I talk all about staying at Coronado and why it is Disney's best kept secret in plain sight. This resort is awesome. You can get great deals, and it's just awesome. Nice. I talk about my first dining experience at Il Molino.
Ooh.
Fancy
all right.
pasta. You can't wear your hat in the dining room until you take your hat off. What?
Wow.
I know. Wow. Scott and I both had to take our hats off. It's weird. And all kinds of fun stuff. So Friday show, I think you're going to enjoy it. It's kind of like Mike in the Midwest, what our patrons get on Tuesdays, because it's just me rambling about my trip for about an hour. But I think you're going to get a lot of insights into the races, but also a lot of stuff for the people who are not runners. I try to balance that out as best I can. But speaking of my friend here, we have Ricky from I almost said a Disney World.
Yeah, we've gone back in time. We have not. No,
it's because I went back and listened to an old show the other day, because somebody was talking about episode 90, where I mentioned that the half marathon cost $95, and I was complaining about that, and that was crazy.
Yes.
I wish.
Yeah,
but anyway,
right?
Ricky's from themouseforless.com. Ricky,
am.
Happy Wednesday. What's up?
Happy Wednesday. It has it's been a week. Well, the weekend was eventful. So went to the doctor on Friday, thought I might be in labor, wasn't, but ended up in a car accident on the way to the doctor. So I ended up in the hospital anyway. So they checked me and everything's fine. But the car is a little worse for her. So yeah, that's fun. So that's fun to deal with while almost done being pregnant. Because this week is probably more than likely going to be my last week as a pregnant lady. Because one way or another, I think she's coming out this week. So we went to the doctor today because we had some contractions that were going on, and which was, of course, you guys know it's Monday, but it's Wednesday. So we went to the doctor, and so we're just kind of hanging out. If it's Wednesday and you're listening to this, I may have a kid. If it's
I mean, we with Disney, we make things happen.
This is true.
We force people's hands all the
We
time with the
do.
podcast.
So we'll see if we're forcing her hand at this point. But if all else fails, I will probably be induced on Thursday. And so she will be here maybe Friday. Who knows? So I don't know. But I will probably not be here Monday. Let's just put it that way for next week for recording. So Mike, you're going to have to get another plan in gear.
I always figure it out somehow,
Yes.
some way. There's always a Be Our Guest podcast hitting your feed Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
And this is true. Yes. Yes.
But we'll have breaking news on Twitter. So
yeah,
we'll
we will. So she's going to be here probably this week though. So get ready for another BOGP baby.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So good luck and
thank you.
Wishes.
I'm definitely going to need it. Yes. Yeah.
And we're excited for the baby girl to
you.
join us. And I can't wait till you have to get up at 3 a.m. to change diapers. That'll be awesome.
I know.
Because it's just the stories are going to be great. Okay.
I'm sure.
So
yes.
we got to hop into today's question. First of all, and weird thing, while you were sharing that story, I have my first email of the day up because this is the most urgent one because I read it yesterday in the airport as I was getting ready to fly home.
Ah, okay.
Because this is a super important one. And it came in while I was out of the office. Ben was covering for me. Ben Lappin, great guy. He takes care of all of our shirts and everything,
awesome.
visors, all that stuff for the lizards. And he takes care of my guests when I'm out of the office, which thank God, because I couldn't do this without Ben. But I got this one while I was out of the office. So I was catching back in before I got on the plane. And this one came in and says, "Hey, Mike, writing from Austin, Texas. My wife's a huge fan and listens religiously to all your podcasts. Her birthday's next week, March 4th.
Oh.
And I wanted to see if she could get a shout out on the BOGP and possibly have a question answered. So shout out to Missy. And
yay, Missy. Happy birthday.
She goes by Minnie Mauer 86 online. So very, very happy birthday to Missy down in Austin, down by UT. I'm still not a Texas fan, but hey, we can't all. My good friend Jimmy, one of our agents of the Magic for Less, would say hook 'em. So there you go. That's true. That's for you guys down there. But happy birthday. And thank you so much for listening to the show. And how sweet is Wilson for writing in?
That's
shout
awesome.
out for us. That's so cool. Anyway, she has a question. So let's answer her question.
Okay.
We're going to Disneyland for the first time in March. And by the way, let me just stop there. First time I went in July last year, fell in love with the place. I still haven't stopped talking about it. And I get to go back in a month.
I know. I hate you so much.
Stop thinking about it. I'm so excited.
I hate you so much.
So much content coming to the podcast because of this, but it's going to be awesome. Oh, I love it. Anyway, they're going in March for the first time and trying to decide which experiences are must-dos, especially dining experiences. Ooh. I know that you were just there. Would value your opinion very much. Thank you, Wilson. And hang on, Wilson just followed up while I was talking. And he says great news that we're going to talk about it on Wednesday. So there you go. Perfect.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah.
Wilson, you're set. And I can only see his eyes because I keep thinking of Home Improvement.
Yes, Home Improvement. Yeah, I knew what you meant.
I don't know if this is that Wilson.
But no, I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's not. No.
Okay. Anyway, but he's a good husband. We know that for sure.
That is true.
Okay. So what would you say? Give one or two dining experiences. Don't take Blue Bayou. That's my jam. But
no,
anything else, because that was my favorite. But even maybe something besides dining too.
Yeah. So the dining is actually one of the things that I haven't done a lot of at Disneyland. I do like for quick service. I like the Hungry Bear. I think it's really good. They have some really good options there. They have a really good. It's a fried green tomato sandwich, which is fantastic. And we also had really awesome appetizers at Naples, which is in downtown Disney there, and it's actually owned by the same company that owns Via Napoli in Walt Disney World. So there's a tie there, and they have really fantastic appetizers there. So those are kind of the two that stuck out to me. I would say make sure you get beignets at the Mint Julep bar, but I think that's closed right now. So. I do know there is an alternate location. Yes. Yep. I just don't know what it is offhand.
I will find that because I will have actually spoiler alert. I've brought beignets home from French Quarter my last 2 trips because Scott got them for me and they're sitting in my kitchen right now.
Nicely done.
There's only 4 left at this point because there were 6.
As you should, yes.
Yes.
And then, of course, you have to get a corn dog from the corn dog cart on Main Street, USA. Like
The
it has to be.
little red
Yeah, the little
wagon or
red
something like
wagon.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's got to be done. So those are kind of like my good dining suggestions. Like not a lot of table service, but a lot of great options at Disneyland for sure.
I second the Hungry Bear. And the Hungry Bear back in Critter Country, it's back by Splash Mountain,
Yes.
it's kind of like the blue collar little counter service place that could get it done. Like
It can, yeah.
Nobody's going to Disneyland to eat at Hungry Bear, I don't
No.
think.
Well,
But
maybe.
it's got like a cool atmosphere. Like you
Yeah.
can sit there, you can see the train
does.
go by, you're outside, you're like on this deck.
Yeah.
And
it's
I
awesome.
like that they had a really good chicken sandwich.
Ooh.
I like that a lot. I mean, but
I
I
did
think
not
it was
like
just that I was glowing and that I was at Disneyland.
Yeah,
I mean, the
that's true.
chicken sandwich could have been average. I mean, it could have been something I got out of my elementary school cafeteria. I wouldn't have cared. I was so happy. I was happily eating it because it was just a beautiful night. The train was going by. I was sitting in Disneyland. I was with my buds and my family. It was, I mean, the vibe there is really cool. So yeah,
Yeah, it is.
I agree. Hungry Bear is cool. But again, I mentioned
Blue Bayou.
Blue Bayou. Why did I forget the name?
I
There?
don't
Said the
know.
Pirates.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Brain
Blue
fart.
Bayou wasn't open when I was there, so I couldn't eat there. So I didn't get the opportunity. So.
Yes. So Blue Bayou, hard ADR to get, but it's totally worth it. You get to eat there inside of Pirates. It feels very much like San Angel Inn at Epcot if you've ever had that experience. But we had the Monte Cristo, which I am a sucker for a good Monte Cristo. When I go to Cheddar's, I don't know if you have Cheddar's restaurants where
Yeah.
you're from. We don't have them in St. Louis, but we have one in Columbia. So we used to go out to see Paige at Mizzou or football games and stuff.
You
We
have
love
Cheddar's.
Cheddar's. Scott has one right by his house. He's so lucky. And I thought I saw one. I did see one in Orlando on the way to the airport yesterday. Anyway, they have a great Monte Cristo. So
All right.
but I mean, I've always heard about the Monte Cristo right at Disneyland, and it does not
course.
disappoint. Oh my gosh. So we had Monte Cristos, and I don't know what we had for a side. We had a salad, I think, too, to start, and I think fries or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we also had hurricanes. So
Oh,
I don't know if you drink, but I love hurricanes. And so,
were they the alcoholic version?
yes, they were.
Okay.
And the hurricanes are like Kool-Aid with a kick, like red
Right.
Kool-Aid. And so it was just, again, this was the very last day of our trip. So we were like close. So we had dinner at like 4:00 and we knew we were closing Disneyland. It was our last night, last day of our tickets, last night at Disneyland Hotel. Everybody's going home the next morning. And it was just perfect. I mean, like the history of the place, right? We're eating in the Blue Bayou. We're eating inside of Pirates. The Monte Cristo was just melt in your mouth good. The hurricanes were wonderful. It was the quintessential Disneyland
Oh yeah,
experience.
100%. Yeah.
It was so worth it. But also, Allison's mentioned Gibson Girl, which
It's ice cream.
it is ice cream, and you
Yes.
have to have ice cream on Main Street. And here's the
Sure.
kicker for this place: why this place beats the Plaza ice cream place on Main Street at Magic Kingdom. You can mobile order your ice cream at this place.
Oh, that
We
is a
did-
game changer.
We did this every night. So we had, like 8:30, 9:00, we'd mobile order our ice cream. And so you just order it and then you just, walk up and say, I'm here. And then bam, you just kind of,
Oh my gosh, that is
the-
such a game changer.
your number comes up, they hand you your ice cream. I mean, that's a baller move, man.
I love it.
Mobile order ice cream cones and Sundays and all that. Oh,
I so wish that the Main Street ice cream parlor would do that, but I mean, I know why they don't, but like it would make life so much easier if they did. So yeah.
yeah, the Gibson Girl's a little bit more open than the Plaza. The Plaza only
Yeah,
has
the
like really that
Plaza's so
one way
small.
in and out,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that one small door, which I think, as I recall, Gibson Girl kind of connects kind of like the stores on the Emporium, like
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
sideways
It does, yeah.
horizontally. So I think that gives them more of like a little bit of a flow for people
yeah.
to come in and out for mobile orders. I mean, it was busy because everybody's wanting to mobile order some ice cream, which Californians must be smart. I mean, that is the great. But
Yes.
yeah, I like that. Also, one of the places that I enjoyed real quick, just for the novelty of it, was the Pim's Test Kitchen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We ate there, and it was just wacky, right?
It's very weird,
You get
but
these little
very cool.
forks, these little forks that are like an inch and a
Yes.
half long, and little some things are huge, like the pretzels come out and they're just gigando. Like you get one
Yes.
that can share, you can feed 8 people, and then a pancake that's the size of a quarter.
Yes.
The scale's all messed up on everything at that place,
Well,
but
it's
everything
because
was tasty.
it's named after Ant-Man. So
Yeah.
that's why. Yeah. So and I also want to throw out, since you were throwing out somewhere in DCA, I also want to throw out the Lamplight Lounge, which is very hard to get into. I know. But they are famous for their lobster nachos, which are really, really good too. So just wanted to
Sign me
recommend.
up. Research.
Yup,
I'll have
exactly.
to try it.
Yes.
Allison too says they're only doing the Monte Cristo for lunch right now, so
Oh, that stinks. That stinks. No,
it
no
needs to be a
bueno.
law against that. The thing
Yeah,
needs
no
to be
kidding.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Allison, what's wrong with those people? Okay, when I go out there, I'm going to speak with somebody very sternly
That's
about
right. You
getting that
should.
fixed. What are you doing?
Yes.
Okay, so here's a good question for you, Ricky. Next question. So happy birthday again to Missy, and have a great trip.
Yes.
And let us know how it goes. Okay, Melissa has a question here, and she says, "Good morning. I'm looking for some senior picture ideas for my son. He's 18 and he's a huge Disney fan. All the ones I'm seeing are more appropriate for females. I welcome any ideas, Melissa.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
going on to Walt Disney World, getting some senior pictures for a guy. What might you suggest?"
Well, it kind of depends on how they're going about doing it. I would say for sure, like if you are not like hiring someone, I would say consider the capture your moment thing, because what they do is they do a 20-minute like little session, or you can pay for an not extra 20 minutes, so you get 40 minutes. But they will, go to wherever, they'll kind of like tailor it to you and your requests. So if you say you have your son and you're wanting to do senior pictures with him, they'll tailor that so that it works out well with him. So I think that that's probably a really good way of handling it. Otherwise, I mean, anywhere can be a really good photo spot. I mean, to be perfectly honest, in Walt Disney World, it's really hard to say that there's not like great ones everywhere. It just depends on. I would choose a park that I would think would go with his personality the best. So whether that would be a Magic Kingdom or an Epcot, but actually the park that I really think about that is probably the most beautiful and would really garner some fantastic senior photos is Disney's Animal Kingdom. I mean, it's not one that people think about because everybody's thinking about Magic Kingdom. But I think that the way that everything is set up and in all the lush foliage and all the really cool props and things like that they have all around Disney's Animal Kingdom to make it feel so authentic really helps to add to the coolness of the senior photos. So that is actually my suggestion if you're kind of doing it, you know, on this separate side of things. If you're not going to have Disney do it, so
Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing, too. Just from being an 18-year-old guy, is what I would say. If I had my choice, if I could find a resort to do this at,
oh,
even
that's also a
better.
good call. Yeah,
Even better, because like the parks are super busy and it's just a little bit awkward. I mean,
yeah,
you could totally do it. But the thing is, like, if you could find a resort and there's great props. I mean, like if you're into sports, take
mhm.
a bus over to sports and get
Yeah,
you got a big football helmet behind you, or you big,
yeah,
if you're a tennis
absolutely.
player, you got those tennis ball like cans,
Mhm.
the thing is you can probably find kind of a huge backdrop. If you're from the Southwest, go to Coronado Springs, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, and use that, or, Pop Century, if your favorite movie was Roger Rabbit, or something like that. I mean, really,
yeah,
you
no, it's
really got to
true.
kind of think about what is something that was significant during his growing up,
Right.
baseball. I bet you could, maybe Casey's, outside of Casey's, one of the
Yeah.
statues, something like, I mean, that's going to be hard though, because it's always busy.
Always busy. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
you think about where else is baseball, around property, and you
I
could
mean,
probably we could probably
definitely
think,
all stars.
yeah,
Yeah.
all stars.
So
You even go over to ESPN. There's some baseball props
true.
over there too. So Wide World of Sports. So the thing is, that's what if I had my pick as an 18-year-old kid, I'd rather do it at the resorts because you could do it kind of more like on the down low.
I think
It's
that's
just
a great idea too. And like you said, you're not going to be, there's not going to be a ton of people like walking around and you're trying to get photos, with people walking everywhere. You're going to have a lot better setup. So yeah, I think the resorts are actually a really good idea. Not going to lie. So
all righty. Let's see here. Bill is in our live chat. He's actually on YouTube. So thanks for being here, Bill. Says going to Florida next month and staying at the Swan for one night without any park tickets. Can you see any of Harmonious from outside the park, like near the skyline or something? Is it worth trying? You really can't
mhm.
not see much of it. I mean, you'll be able to see some of the higher fireworks, but you won't see like the story or anything like that. Now, if you want to kind of see it, what I would say, you can see the now you're not going to get the music, but if you could somehow get an ADR for Topolino's Terrace, that's cool perspective on the show because I've seen it from there and it's beautiful. But you're only going to see the visuals. You're not going to get the story or anything like that. So that is one thing to think about. But yeah, you're not going to see it from the Skyliner. You're probably not going to see it from your room at the Swan.
No.
You really got to be in the park. I mean, this is kind of a low thing. There's
right, especially with the the tacos, and everything like that.
The barges.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like they made it so focused on that aspect of it that they don't have as many fireworks. So you're not going to see much of the show if you're. I mean, you like you said, you'll see some of the high fireworks maybe on the boardwalk, but not enough to really be worth your while to go, oh, you know what, let's go stand there. So I would.
All right, Katie has a question. Hey Mike, we're headed down for spring break and staying off-site. This isn't a Disney trip and more of a relaxing in the Florida sun trip.
Nice.
Since we are avid Disney parks people, our friends we are going with to see the magic want to see the Magic Kingdom for a day. Here's the dilemma. One of the days we're looking at going is the opening day of Tron. We will not be going for any of the big attractions as we have 4-year-olds who are interested in princesses, teacups, and stage shows. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
That's a good touring plan. Would this be a good day to go because all the other goers will be interested in Tron? Will they leave the little stuff alone? Maybe we can zig when everyone else is zagging, or will it just be so unbearable that we should pick the next day instead? Any speculation would be helpful, Katie. Ooh, interesting question. What do you think, Ricky?
So it's kind of twofold because, you aren't really interested in Tron. So you're going to be fine there in the sense of if you are focusing more on the princesses and the smaller attractions and things like that, like I think you're going to be just fine.
But here, I just thought of this though. Tron's got a virtual queue, correct?
Correct. And that's where I was going next. Yes.
So people need stuff to do until their time comes up.
Well, yes and no. I mean, here's the other point is that those who don't get into the virtual queue are probably not going to go to the Magic Kingdom that day. They may have a reservation
that's true.
right now, but they, and I know that the reservations are pretty slim pickings on, I think that day probably, since everybody's trying to take them up for, the off chance that they can get in the virtual queue. So you're going to have probably a lot of people drop off that day that had reservations because of the fact that they maybe didn't get into the virtual queue too. So now when you'll really see it drop off is after that 1:00 time slot when the virtual queue will probably reopen at some point that day, and it will reopen at 1:00. And then after that, anybody who was trying to get on Tron is really probably leaving the park at that point to go somewhere else. So I think you're going to be okay. I mean, if you really are worried, maybe I would make it a different day. I would go the next day, but I think you're probably going to be okay. You're just going to have it's going to be crowded, but I don't know that it's going to be like ridiculous. So
here's the thing. I don't think it's going to be different the day, first day or second day because of virtual queue, right? It's going to be the same amount of people. The only difference you're going to see in day 1 and day 2 is you're going to see all the bloggers and vloggers and all the people out there with social media.
Also that, yes, you'll definitely.
But those people have already done it 5 times.
Yeah, but Mike, if you think that they aren't going to be there on opening day to vlog and vlog, but doesn't matter. They're still going to want to try to ride it on opening day. So yeah.
I know, but they've done it already. Yeah, but,
it doesn't matter.
I would say I just do either day because you're right. Yeah. If you're only going for like the minor, the non-Tron stuff and the non-e-ticket stuff, you're going to be fine. I don't think you're going to have a significant difference either way.
No, now if you're choosing the day before and then the day of Tron, I would maybe go the day before.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because people might be holding back. Okay, right. Megan's got a question. We're going to be in the Magic Kingdom on Saturday for my daughter's 3rd birthday. Well, happy birthday.
Yay.
This is my guest over at the Magic for Less. I appreciate you, Megan. Thank you so much. And tell your daughter happy birthday for me. Where's the best place in the park to let her pick out an awesome birthday cupcake or dessert?
Oh.
Big Top Treats.
Ooh,
nobody remembers that. Back in Storybook Circus, they have some good stuff. It's kind of like
closed for a while.
I know, but it's
a long while. No,
it's not now. It's kind of like the annex of the confectionery is how I see it. Like if you need a confectionery, but you just don't want to have to walk all the way to Main Street or almost Town Square, Big
Yeah.
Top Treats. I give that a shot. But if not, of course, the confectionery.
Yeah, the confectionery. I mean, it depends on which park that they're at, but I'm going to assume that they're probably at
But
the Magic Kingdom.
is that what they? I think they said, isn't it?
No.
They said
Oh
they're in the
yeah,
Magic
Magic Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Okay, yeah. So, Big Top Treats, or like you said, the confectionery, or the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor is always a good choice too. So,
If they don't
maybe
have cupcakes
I know, but that's
or
that's a
dessert, yeah,
dessert.
ice cream, yeah, ice cream.
Yeah,
I mean, you could of
exactly.
course, yeah, you could of course get a Dole Whip. You know what? So I had just a 2 scoop ice cream cone
Nice.
a couple yesterday at the Plaza. That thing was because I always get that Sunday. But
Yeah,
the ice cream cone was so good on a sugar
solid.
cone. It had the little
Yeah, I
two
get
little
that.
like Mickey
Little
ears on
Mickey
top,
ears.
like
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah,
chocolate
yeah,
little
yeah.
things, kind of like little mini Girl Scout cookie kind of things. Oh,
Yes,
it was just
solid.
tasty. It was just simple. Like
It
sometimes
is.
simple tastes good.
You're not wrong.
And a
And
3 year
also,
old's gonna mash that against her face. It's gonna be the cutest picture ever.
this is true. Yes. But I want to go back to that last question. Allison brings up that the day before is happily ever after's the first day of that. So yeah, don't go that day.
That's true. That'll bring out the masses.
Yeah, that'll definitely bring out the masses. Yeah,
Yeah.
go the day of Tron or the day after. Yeah,
All right,
don't go.
Allison, you're on the show. Ricky's
Yeah.
going to be having a baby. Allison, I'll be calling you because you are saving us today. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's all like meshing together in that same like week time.
I know
span.
that. Yeah,
So,
seriously, they're doing all this kind of stuff on us. Okay, Greg's Leanne has a question here in the live chat. We're checking out at the Beach Club at 11 a.m. I need a place to grab lunch before we head to the airport around 1:30. Where should we go? This was kind of like me yesterday. I checked out of Coronado, but I had to head to the airport at like 4. I had lunch at Columbia Harbor House because I went to the Magic Kingdom.
You
But
did.
they're probably not going to a park. I would say, I mean, you're at the Beach Club, dude. Go to Beaches and Cream. Like if you can get an
That's a good
ADR there,
choice.
that's a great last. That's a great last hurrah because it's fun. Get a burger, fries, chili, a melt, and get an ice cream. I mean, that's like your last taste of Disney. If I was at the Beach Club, I would totally go to Beaches and Cream because you're right there and it's so easy. You don't have to like worry about transportation, nothing like that. What would you say, Ricky?
That's a really good choice. I would say maybe go across the street to the boardwalk and go to the Boardwalk Deli. I feel like
That's
could
a
be
good call too.
very
Yeah,
solid
that's a good
choice.
choice. Yeah, because
Like,
you maybe don't want some heavy before you get on a plane.
right.
I always take chances. Sorry.
Well, that's true, and it just depends on if you want to try something that has an ADR or not. So
That's true.
you're not gonna have to worry about, oh, am I gonna run out of time at the Boardwalk Deli. So
Yeah, and then get the crumb cake too when you're there.
yes.
Let's see next. I've heard that's pretty simple, but I like it. Okay, next question looks like it comes from Jacob Turner and says, Mike, Pam, Ricky, and Scotty G. Hope everyone's doing great. I'm flying with my wife down to Tampa in a few weeks so she can go to a bachelorette weekend, and I'm off the leash.
All right. There we go.
Of course, I decided to spend my weekend at Disney. This will be my first solo trip there that I've done. On Saturday, I'm spending the day at Epcot, but wanted to go big for dinner. Where's a great signature table service lounge restaurant for solo travelers? I always hear solo travelers are welcome at any restaurant, but I'm still a little anxious for this being my first time going solo. At the moment, I have a reservation at Flying Fish, but I'm open to any other suggestion. You guys rock, and I appreciate the daily content. Jacob. P.S. Mike, the sound effects panel rocks. 100% a great investment for the pod.
No.
Hang on. Let's see here.
Oh no.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, I agree.
Stop. Yeah.
Thank you, Jacob. We appreciate that very much.
No, we don't. Yeah.
Okay. So I had to read Jacob's email just so I could play around.
Of course. Yeah.
What do you think for a solo fly? I mean, the thing is, you get to do whatever you want. Nobody is going to flinch. If you want to go to Flying Fish, that's your jam. Do it. Space 220, go there. Whatever you want to do it.
I agree. As someone who has traveled solo many times and eaten solo many times at many different restaurants at Walt Disney World, it is absolutely fine to go anywhere and have a nice meal. So if you want to go to Flying Fish, go to Flying Fish. Don't feel weird about being by yourself. It's not that unusual. It's not that out of the normal, and you're going to have a great time. I was gonna say if since he was in Epcot, he might consider like something like Le Cellier or something like that. But then he brought up Flying Fish, and I was like, oh no, you've got a great choice there too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think you're gonna go wrong there. So I say go to Flying Fish and enjoy because you're there by yourself. Why not?
You know where I had my best solo meal in Epcot?
No.
You got to be the right kind of person, though. And I
Oh
bet you
yes, I
Jacob
do
is.
know exactly where
Yeah.
you've had your best solo meal.
It's
Yes.
Beer Garden.
Yeah, Beer Garden. Yeah.
Yes. And it's so weird because you get set communally, right? So I was sitting with a family, and they just happened to be listeners of the podcast. They saw
Yeah.
my pop socket on my phone.
That's funny.
And they're like, "I listen to that show," and I'm like,
That's
"I
really
listen
funny.
to that show too." I'm like, "I'm a fan. That's why I got a pop socket on there." And eventually, they
They
recognized the
figured
voice.
out
Like
who
they
you
figured it
were.
out.
Yeah, that's
Like,
funny.
you're Mike,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
yes, I
Yeah.
am. That's
I
why
am.
I have a pop socket. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan because that's our show.
That's for sure.
And so then we just like, I felt like it's boom, I was adopted by them.
Oh, I
And of
love
course, it might not happen that you sit down with other Be Our Guest podcast
Right.
listeners at your table. I mean, chances like 1 in a million. But if you're the right kind of person, because like otherwise I'd have been like, and I go to lots of meals by myself. Like I said yesterday, I had a wonderful meal.
it.
I
At
talk about this
Columbia
on
Harbor
part of the show.
House.
Columbia
Yeah.
Harbor House. Just I called my wife. I sat there upstairs, watched people go by Fantasyland, ate my trio platter. It was wonderful. I loved it. It was a great Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
But I mean, this time, like I was like adopted by this family. I forget they're from Iowa or something. And we just talked about everything. And it was just cool for like, an hour to have some new friends. And, the band's playing oompa, oompa, and
Yep.
you can do hi, 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 or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the food there is just unreal. Like, I love it. I mean, great desserts, great foods. So, I mean, I was just it was just a wonderful surprise for me. I walked in like, this is iffy, but I love the food. So I'm like willing to chance it.
Yeah.
Best decision
Best
ever.
decision
I mean,
ever.
next time it could be like I could sit down with some wackos. I mean, it
Well,
could be totally.
yeah.
You're rolling the dice there.
You are. You could be sitting next to me and Brian. It's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Another place I would suggest for solo diners, just if you are a little nervous about it, is Tepanito. That you're going to sit communally as well there. So it's a really common place for people who are single diners to go. So that's just another thing, another place that I would suggest. But when he said signature, I mean, that's not signature dining. So that's why.
And lounges are great because you don't have to have ADRs. You can
True.
just go on a whim, and then that's kind of everybody's solo jam. So.
True. I mean, the Space 220 Lounge is one that everybody tries to get into, but it's not easy, and you have to do it like first thing in the morning, like when the park opens, to try to get in. So.
Alrighty, Kelly's got a question. She's down in Texas. Hey, I have a question for the show. I have a tee time for foot golf.
Nice.
For my upcoming spring break trip. That's pretty cool. I've never played, but we'll be trying it out for the first time with my soccer-loving family of 4. Our tee time is at 3:34. I love how golf has such specific tee times.
3:34?
Yeah, that's how golf is. Yeah.
That's crazy.
You have a tee time at like 7:02.
Okay.
Seriously, I love that. She says, do you think we'll have time to play the 9 holes and still make our 5:45 homecoming reservation? We will have our own car. The course site says it should take under 1 hour and 30 minutes to play, but looking to hear from others who have played here. Also, not sure how far the course is from Disney Springs. Thanks, Kelly. Okay, I do know the course is over there by the Palm and Magnolia, because when we were playing the Magnolia, I played that with Scott and Phil and Wade. We played one time, and we went right past zigzags out of this 9-hole foot golf course, and people were playing and they were having a good time. I wouldn't imagine foot golf takes as long as regular golf because you're less likely to hit the ball out of bounds.
True. You can find your ball a lot easier.
Yeah, you're probably not going to lose a soccer ball.
No.
And it just seems like it shouldn't take that long. 9 holes, 3:34.
And that's what time is there?
So let me just think about the drive. The drive. So basically, the drive is from like the Polynesian to Disney Springs. Yeah, 20 minutes maybe. But you got to park.
Yeah,
you got the garage.
and then you got to walk to the.
Well, you got the garage. You just got to get in the garage, and then you walk down. You're pretty much at homecoming there. Especially if you park in the Lime garage, I'd go the Lime probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, 20 minutes to drive. So 3:34, 4:45. Here's the deal. If you get to like hole 7 or hole 8 and you think you're gonna cut it close, just bail. and go. I mean, cut your losses. But I think you totally get it. I still think you get in 9 holes of foot golf and still make it by 5:45.
Okay.
Just don't speed. Yeah, and tell us how. And if anybody's played foot golf, let us know how long it took you to play 9
Yeah,
holes.
because I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't, because I've never played foot golf, and I'm curious because I think Paige would love to do that because she was like a really good soccer player.
Yeah. Jennifer says in the chat that their family of 3 played in an hour. So
bingo! Look at that, and she's right down the street.
Yeah.
Well, look at she's got St. Louis City is her icon there because we have a new soccer team in St. Louis who is undefeated for franchise history, by the way.
Wow.
We wiped out Salt Lake City the other night, 3-2.
We had what, 1 game, right? Yeah.
Hey, it doesn't matter. We have never lost a game in our franchise's history. We're like, we have a better overall record than the Yankees as a franchise.
Okay, there we go.
Bring it. The Montreal Canadiens, the New York Islanders, Celtics, Lakers, doesn't matter.
Got it.
Us.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a soccer fan, but cool. All right, so I've seen enough soccer in my life I can barely watch Ted Lasso. Let's see here. Next question's from William. It says Atlantic, Canada. He says, it's been a while since I've been to Disney World, and I remember when I last went, they used to sell books in some of the stores, especially the resort gift shops, for hidden Mickeys. Do you know if they still sell these on property?
Okay. They don't.
I think I've seen them every once in a while, but not like consistently.
So the Hidden Mickey's book, the yellow one by Steve
I don't think
Barrett,
it's Dr. Barrett's book, though.
It's not sold in Walt Disney World anymore. I can guarantee you that. I haven't seen it there in a while. I don't know if they have a secondary version of a Hidden Mickey's book, but the one that like we all know of from the past is definitely not there anymore. So I can't say with 100% certainty that they don't have a second supplementary version of a Disney Hidden Mickey's book, but the original one is not there anymore for sure.
What I would do is just get it on Amazon or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not going to change that much except for some, small things, some attractions that are probably closed and stuff like that. So.
It's one of those things, physical media is just going away in general. I mean, one of the things I used to love to get as souvenirs on my trips were like the soundtrack to Illuminations or the soundtrack to Spectro Magic. Yes. I mean, I bought it multiple times. The Fantasmic soundtrack on CD.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, we're lucky because we have things, and you see it even on the buses nowadays. Like they have those placards, above where you sit, and it'll say, the ultimate Disney parks playlist. Just go to Spotify or Apple Music and stream it, which is great and all. And again, I know it's sold to sound like an old fart, but the thing is, like, I love that tangible CD to walk home with. Like, I don't know why. Like, every time I could see it on the shelf and I'd place it in a CD player, it physically brought back nostalgia and memories of that trip. Streaming it, as convenient as it is, it just doesn't have that same feeling for me.
Yeah, no, that's how I have a copy of the Finding Nemo soundtrack because it was left in a car that I ended up purchasing. And so I was like, cool, Finding Nemo, the musical soundtrack in the car that I just bought. That's awesome.
Bonus.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, let's get to the last question of the day. It's coming from Kristen and Dave. And they say, hey, Mike, Pam, Ricky, and Scotty G, love the Be Our Guest podcast. We've been listening for years. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Have all of the Disney After Hours events been announced for 2023? Are there only a select few nights for Epcot and Hollywood Studios? Our family are DVC members and are headed to Disney this November 11th through the 19th. And we're hoping there would be an After Hours event offered. P.S. Congratulations, Ricky. We have a 3-month-old now, and she'll be turning 1 while we're down there in November.
Awesome.
It's awesome. Thanks,
yeah.
Kristen and Dave. So I think they just announced, actually, since this came out, we got this email a little less than a week ago. They announced more events.
They did. So they announced that Epcot will be having events for the first time ever, which is what they kind of referenced. And then they announced some events for Disney's Hollywood Studios as well. Now, I think they only announced them through like the summer event, months. So I would say that there's a chance they will also have more in the fall and winter. But they don't usually announce those until, and it's such a pain because I know people want to plan. But those kind of events, for some reason, just Disney just doesn't announce them, like, except for a couple months in advance. So if they are going to have them, it'll probably be sometime late summer, when they announce that, hey, we're going to add more dates to Disney After Hours. Now, I will say they will not be adding dates for Disney After Hours at Magic Kingdom, because at that time they'll be doing Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party / Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So they won't be having the Disney After Hours events during those time periods at the Magic Kingdom. But they may have them at Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So that will be to be determined. And since it's so new definitely new at Epcot, and then it's been done at Hollywood Studios before, but it's new back in the rotation. I'm not entirely sure if they will have them in the fall, but I would suspect that there's a good chance for it. So.
I agree. I'm glad that they're before Thanksgiving and Christmas, because you won't have them once Thanksgiving hits.
No, you will
but they're
not.
before, so that they're in a good range to probably get an Epcot or a Hollywood Studios.
Yeah,
maybe.
agreed. Maybe.
That's your best bet. Good call. Okay, I lied. One last question, because I was just there and I have the answer. Chad says, hey there, are they still doing the Disney Visa character greets like they used to? We did that years ago, and it was an easy way to meet the characters. Thanks as always. Yes, they are at Epcot. They're over by Journey to Your Imagination. They're where that Pixar Film Festival thing is. Yes. Kind of one of the hidden things. Nobody even remembers they're doing that, and there's never a line. So yes, if you have that, because we were going to do that and we totally forgot. We were talking about doing that this past weekend. I have my Disney Visa.
I know. I don't ever walk up that ramp to go, because I don't ever go see the Pixar shorts. So I don't ever walk up the ramp to go to that way to remind me, hey, the Disney character, Visa character spot is here. So I miss out all the time too. So whoops.
Yep. You just present your Disney Visa, get your little character meet and greet. Here's one other thing too, real quick. Right before I left, my last thing I did at the Magic Kingdom yesterday, just because walking out, 10 minutes to meet Mickey Mouse. Right. And
that's awesome.
Town Square. Yeah. And so I had my medals in my pocket. So I'm like, why not? Right. Got my medals here. Get a picture of Mickey Mouse on the way out. I had to go get a napkin, because I just had my ice cream cone. I thought that was going to be my last thing. So I had to clean up a little bit so I look good with my picture with Mickey. This was my first interaction with the photo box. I do not like the photo box.
No, the photo box is not good.
No, because the thing is, okay, so there's a couple cast members in there, right? They direct you into the room, they bring you in, and, they tell you, like Mickey's, I was the first one in the group. They brought in like me and like two other families, because I was by myself. And so I had my medals out ready to go, had them on. And, they're like, okay, so we can go meet Mickey. And Mickey, he's like playing around with like his wardrobe over there. And then he turns around, is excited to see you and, all that stuff. And I think the thing supposed to start taking pictures like right when that happens. Or they said when he starts talking to you or something.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's shooting pictures at that point. But for one thing, I didn't even get the pictures. Like, I scanned my band and it said successful, and I still haven't seen them 24 hours later on my Disney experience. Was Allison saying the same thing in the live chat? But here's the thing. Like, with a PhotoPass photographer, this is me being old. Get off my yard.
No,
but
it's true.
I feel like somebody's directing me. Like, I feel like I'm not an actor, but I feel like I need somebody to give me some direction.
I get
and
that.
The person who was like standing next to the box was kind of just like, hey, Mickey, look at his medals. And so I'm trying to like lay my medals out so they look kind of nice, but I bet you, I haven't seen the pictures, but I bet you they look all lopsided and jaggedy, because I wasn't sure. And I'm nervous up there by myself, and it's like weird, awkward. Mickey doesn't talk.
You're already nervous, because
I'm like, is this thing firing now or what? Like, when's the picture happening? So, he's thumbs upping, so I guess I'm thumbs upping. I mean, it was really awkward. So I really want to see the pictures, because I know they're probably terrible.
Yeah,
I just I want a photographer there saying, hey, okay, here we go. Okay, do this. I need some direction. The box made me freak out. Like, and so I'm not a fan of the box. I need a photographer. I know I'm old, but
no, you're not old, and I'm not a fan of the box either, because, like you said, you do need direction / that box is not gonna. It's not gonna get the full emotion of your.
No, what else got me was like. What's going on?
Of you talking to Mickey and showing him your medals, and you know what I'm saying? Like, there's close-up things that a PhotoPass photographer would have done for you that would have been way more meaningful, because you had the medals. And Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of the box. And now that you told me that the box is there at the Magic Kingdom, I will not be. And that would have been like the first thing I would have had baby girl do is probably get pictures with Mickey on Main Street because, that would have been her first pictures with Mickey. But now that I know that the box is there, I'm going to choose a different place to go and have my first, baby girl's first pictures with Mickey because I don't want the box. I want to have that emotional interaction with the characters for the first time that she sees them. So like it's a terrible thing, and I'm not a fan. And I'm gonna go to Epcot now probably and do it because they had that actually at Epcot where they at the Pixar short film festival is where Mickey meets. So honestly, that's probably where I'm gonna go at this point. So
it's one of those things that, again, I think that common sense needs to prevail. And the thing is, yes, it's a cost savings.
But how much of a cost savings?
For bean counters, it's a cost savings. But here's the thing. But in the big picture, it's such a loss because you're going to miss those, like Allison says here, like touching the picture of her son, touching Mickey's nose at the exact perfect time. A well-trained photographer will get that almost every single time. Or that walking away picture where the kid turns around one last time
and just waves
to wave back to Mickey because he just can't believe he or she just met Mickey Mouse.
Exactly.
Like the box isn't going to get that. And the thing is, you're saving a few peanuts there, but
how much more money would you have gotten?
Worth $1 million.
Exactly. I mean, if I had the box photo from that, I maybe wouldn't buy it. But if I had that touching moment of, my little girl touching Mickey's nose, you can bet I would be buying that. Like if it was close up and 100%, I'd be like, oh, well, now I have to buy this. So I've spent, whether or not I bought Memory Maker or not, I'm going to buy that one picture then for $20. And you've paid for the photographer for the hour at that point. So, I mean, I don't like it. I'm not okay with it.
And the thing is, I know that Disney sees it as moving people in and through the experience, right? That's how they probably see it. But the thing is, and this is what I try to remember being a travel agent, is that every trip is super special for every guest. And the thing is, every moment, every hour, every day of every trip is special for every guest. Every ride, every attraction, every character meet and greet, every meal is very, very important, very special for every guest. And I think Disney needs to remember that even though it is about, flow and saving money and getting efficiencies and all that, but the thing is, these pictures are some of the pictures that people will remember for the rest of their lives. It's worth the extra money. It is. It's not worth the cost savings. These are the pictures that will be in photo albums for generations. Honest to God, they will.
And on social media and on, it'll be everywhere, everywhere. So I'm with you. I'm not a fan of the photo box at all. And I haven't been since they announced it. So bad Disney.
No, I was just whacked out. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was freaked out. The box. I was like, oh no, it's the box.
Oh no.
Because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. If I'd have known, I could have prepared, but I didn't know. So I was like, oh no, it's the box. I've heard about this. Where do I look? Anyway, that's going to be it for today's show. I know I said 15 minutes ago, there's our last question, but there you go.
Yeah, we kept on going. We're good.
All right. Well, hey, don't forget our shows are brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. One of the great things about booking with the Magic for Less, you get these tips every week in your inbox, getting you ready for your trip. Most importantly, getting you excited, but also getting you prepared, telling you about Memory Maker, telling you about, you got to get your ADR settled. Remember, bring an external charger because you're going to be on your phone a lot with making ADRs and checking your Memory Maker photos and modifying Genie Plus. You get these tips that put you in a great spot for your next vacation, but also we're going to get you the best price possible. And the bottom line is it costs you nothing extra. And I would love to help you plan the next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. So just swing by the magicforless.com today. Fill out that free, no obligation quote form. We'll take care of you from there. Check them out again over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Supports everything we do throughout the year. And finally, a big thank you to our patrons. You guys make all these shows possible. Couldn't do it without you. And our patrons get that bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. If you'd like to join us, we'd sure love to have you. Come on over, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Of course, join us on the social media. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike on Instagram and Twitter. Would love to talk to you this week. And we'll try to have a live show this Sunday night, but We're heading to Schaumburg, Illinois this weekend for a big cheerleading event and
Ooh.
hopefully to watch a basketball game for Paige's team up in Chicago as
Nice.
well. So if we can make it back, we'll have a live show. If not, we'll do the best we can at the following Sunday night. So stay tuned for the social media for all the updates there. All right. We'll have a fun show on Friday. It's going to be me talking all about Princess Weekend, but we have stuff for the non-runners as well. Coronado reviews. Mike goes fancy at El Molino. It was wild. I had to take off my hat. A lot of fun. So good stuff coming your way. So thank you as always for being a part of our podcast family. Thanks to everybody who said hello over race weekend. I loved it. And it was great meeting so many listeners over the Princess Half Marathon weekend. All right. So for Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. We'll be back in on Friday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
Yay.
All right. Well, good
good.
luck.
Thank you. I'll keep you posted.
Yes,
But
please do.
I probably won't be here Monday. So
Imagine.
just a heads up, you'll probably have to find replacements. So
Yeah, Scott's waiting to hopefully clear his
Yeah.
schedule. Wait, hang on. Wait. Why is this? Damn it. Why is this thing? I hate this new fancy software. 44.1. I want 44.1. Let me save this real quick.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so please do keep us updated though, and just
I will. Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
She'll probably be here by the end of the week. So we'll find out. Yep. So,
I'll be watching.
okay. All right.
All right. Well, tell Brian good luck too, man, because I almost passed out.
I will. All right. We'll see you guys later.
All right. See you later.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.